Here with Tennessee transfer outfielder Griffin Merritt, and Griffin's really excited to be here at Tennessee and likely going to be making a big-time contribution to the Vols here this upcoming spring. Griffin, how you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. So you coming from Cincinnati, you were AAC Player of the Year. You led that conference, I believe, with home runs last year with 19. Power hitter from the right side. Tell us more about your game.
Yeah, I just last year was kind of just a buildup of a lot of hard work for me. I felt like I've been playing good baseball, for a couple years at that point, and just as a player, I'm somebody that's going to go out there every day and do what it takes to win. And I guess personally as a player, yeah, my hit tools probably my carrying tool, but I'm also somebody that since I've been here, I've really worked in the outfield and defense that can be a reliable defender and can be counted on to make plays that I feel at this point in my career that if I could become a better defender, I could affect the game more. Just because I've always been a good hitter, and you can always improve on hitting, but sometimes where you're at's where you're at, and I felt like defense something that I could use to influence more games. So something I put a lot of effort into this fall with the coaching staff.
How was this fall? Of course, you made the announcement you were coming to Tennessee, and then you were here this fall, went through fall ball, had some exhibitions. When I was there, you hit a couple of home runs. It felt like each time I was out there, you were going yard. Kind of how was this past fall getting acclimated with your teammates, the field, the city, all that good stuff?
Yeah, the fall, when I was young, when I was at Cincinnati, a lot of kids put a lot of pressure on the fall. I have a brother that's a freshman at Cincinnati right now, and he's playing, and I just got back from break with him. You put so much pressure on the fall. I think that's natural when you're young. You think it's, life or death. But, as I've matured and, played now, I think the fall is about just improving. And, so you when you leave and you go on break, you just want to be better than you were when you got there. And as a team, it's about figuring out what you do well, figuring out what roles are, how you get along with other kids, and looking at it through that lens. I mean, our fall was great, and I thought being a transfer, somebody that kind of came in with really I didn't know anybody. It was kind of a clean slate for me. That personally that I played well and showed that I have a skill set that can really benefit this team, and I can fill some of this holes of these guys that left from last year. But at the same time, I think that more importantly that our team throughout the, those 3 months just got so much better. And I think that was really evident. The way our coaching staff made our 2 fall games was pretty smart. So we played Wake Forest like our first week of our fall, like that. Like at that point, kids had maybe 10, 12 at bats. And then you play Memphis 3 or 4 weeks later, and you've developed and you've gotten so much better. And I think that was a big testament to how we grew as a team. So like I said, the fall, seeing it now, it's a time to improve, and a time really that it's about the team, the individual. I just wanted to be better than I was when I got there, and I feel like I am. And then as a team, which I feel my role on this team is to produce for them and somebody that can be counted on to be, consistent because I've been doing it for a while. But I also feel like I bring a lot of experience to a really talented young team. So part of my role and my responsibility is to, give them, those things that you learn as you play. Because some of them, these guys on our team are young and they're super talented. They're just lacking some experience, and you can't replicate it. But I feel like I can, do something to, help them grow from it. So it was kind of cool this fall, guys, bouncing off questions of me and about just some stuff that you can kind of only get with experience. So I'm excited that I was able to, help us in that way as well.
Yeah, you're gonna be playing a big role for Tennessee. Lost, some incredible talent in the outfield from last year, as you mentioned. Whether it's left field, whether it's right field, whatever the case may be, you're going to be out there and doing your thing. You had a really successful career at Cincinnati, and correct me if I'm wrong. You're born and raised in Cincinnati, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and so this wasn't just I'm unhappy, I'm not getting playing time, I want to leave. You were kind of the guy over there. So why did you elect to leave Cincinnati, and ultimately why did you elect to come to Tennessee to be a part of Tony Vitello's club?
Yeah, this is a question I've got a million times, and I think it's nowadays with transfer, and it's becoming much more of a common than something that's taboo that yeah, it happens a few times each cycle. But
Hmm.
most times you hear guys were unhappy or they didn't like where they're at. Like for me, it was the complete opposite. I mean, I love Cincinnati, and that'll always be an important place to me, and I'll always value that program and where I came from. For me, leaving was the hardest decision I had to make, especially with like I said, my younger brother coming in.
Mhm.
That was tough, but I just at my point in my career after last year's draft, I needed a new experience, something different. I wanted to play, for a national championship. I had that year, really give some insight to after the draft, and I was back and forth, like sign, maybe not sign, like it just all the negotiation stuff, and at the end of the day, when it came to the point where I wasn't going to sign, I was like, man, am I done? And I was like, I don't want to be done. I have a year. I don't want to be done. And I was like, but I want a different challenge. And I had, kind of full support from my team and my coaching staff at Cincinnati to, you know, embark on that new challenge, which was big for me because, that, like I said, I'm very loyal to the places I've been. So I think when you hear transfer, people always think, you left for a negative reason. For me, I left because I wanted something. I wanted to play for a national championship. I wanted to compete at a different level, and I wanted to learn. I wanted to grow. And I wanted to become a better baseball player. So that's why I left Cincinnati, and like I said, in on good terms. Um, but as far as coming to Tennessee, when I was in the portal, just the timing of it that I got in really late because I waited till after the draft because that was a possibility for me. So I was waiting, and it was kind of crazy. I mean, stuff blew up, and I think I was fortunate to the timing of me getting into the portal that there wasn't a whole lot left in there. And with school starting like 2 weeks later, like people, it was kind of it. So I had a ton of interest, and I got a ton of different places that I could have went to. But Tennessee, when I came on my visit, just felt like home. It's cliche. I mean, cliches are cliche for a reason. It did. I was here. I was supposed to actually come to Knoxville and depart Monday morning and fly from Knoxville to Oklahoma State, and then fly from Oklahoma State to Arkansas, and then down to, I think, Alabama or Texas, one of the two, and then back. And I was going to try to make a decision. Those were all consecutive days. And I got here, and I was here with my father, and I was here Saturday, Sunday, and I left Monday morning. And it was like Sunday afternoon. I was just like, this is it. This is where I want to be. This is the coaching staff that I want to play for. These are the players I want to play with. Like, I don't need to look anywhere else. So I actually called all the other schools and said, cancel your tickets. I'm not coming. But I got my roommates bouncing in here. But yeah, that was why I decided to come to Tennessee, and it's been great. And like I said, they're the coaching staff and the players that I want to play with, and that was pretty evident on my visit. So it's just a great fit. And I think when you graduate transfer, there's always that like back of your head of you don't want to go somewhere you're not going to fit in because there's a year. You only have a year. So like I don't want to go somewhere like, hey, these aren't the kind of guys that I am. This isn't the kind of coaching staff that I want to play for. Like even though you might think like something else is a good fit, like you don't want to be somewhere that you're not comfortable. And at least for me, I when I'm comfortable, I play well. So I think that one of the reasons, I had a good fall and I feel like I'm going to have a good year is because I'm surrounded by a lot of people that are, think like me, act like me, and it's a good fit.
Last thing I got for you, a little two-parter. Last year when you were doing your thing, you were playing, and obviously you're focused on your team and winning and doing the best you can. But did you see what Tennessee was doing from afar?
No, huge credit to those guys last year. I think last year that team did things that nobody's ever seen before. Like I mean, I didn't play here last year, and I wasn't in this conference last year, but like everybody around college baseball kind of took notice.
Mhm.
You respect when people are performing at that kind of level. Just like I don't know, like I'm not a soccer fan. I don't watch soccer, but I watched that World Cup final, and like that was interesting to me. Like, and I don't care about soccer. I really actually dislike soccer, but like when you see people competing at such a high level in their sport, like you respect it. And what I saw, from Tennessee last year, nothing but respect. And you know, you like I said, it wasn't like my focus of last year. I was at a different program, but definitely like the whole world, the whole college baseball world was on notice of, this team's chasing greatness. This team's doing things that are not normal. And um, like I said, and not that last year's team, had a massive influence on me ending up here, but it definitely, one of my goals when I'm in the portals, like I wanted to go somewhere that has national championship caliber expectations in 2023. Not 4, not 5, not 6, 7. Those years I won't be here. It was now. And when I'm sitting there, it's like I'm going through my options. And, I was fortunate to have, a lot of those options of teams that have that. But, Knoxville's 3.5 hours away from me. And I don't know if anybody has, I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't think that's how we are. But I think we have every tool that we need to be, in that conversation. So
I was gonna say plenty of arms and plenty of bats for sure. Last thing, man, I'll get you out of here before your roommates jump in again.
yeah, my roommates and I get along great, and that's been, awesome for me.
Who do you live with?
I live with Jared Dickey and Jake Fitzgibbons and Tom Wilcox, and I think Zach Joyce is messing around out there right now too. So it's just like a tight knit, group of dudes, and it makes playing. Because I don't think people understand how much time we spend together, like how much time we really like. I mean, it is all day, every day, players, coaches, and it's like when you can get along with guys, and you got guys looking in here messing with you or going to this window to mess, like you just like it makes it fun. And it makes it fun. Baseball, I love it, but there's times where baseball can be hard, and you're not always on top of the world with baseball. So when you got guys behind you that you get along with, it just makes it that much better.
Lindsey Nelson Stadium, those stands are going to start filling up. It's going to be a wild environment this spring. And for Tennessee baseball fans who don't really know you that well right now, they will know you soon. But what are some things you want to let Tennessee fans know just about you and how excited you are for this season?
Yeah, I'm so excited to play in front of such an engaged fan base. I got a little taste of it in down in Jackson, and throughout the fall, and it's like, I mean, that's so special. And I know they don't know me, but I just want to say thank you already. It's like you guys make a huge difference in baseball games and affecting outcomes and just making the whole experience better. So I know the next couple months will blow what I've experienced out of the water this fall, but even now, I just want to say thanks to all everybody that's listening to this that's a fan, and we really do value you guys, and we want to interact with you guys, and we want to make it a fun experience for you guys because you make it just as much fun for us. And as a player, you guys are going to get somebody that is going to be out there competing every second I'm on the field. I'll be competing with a goal in mind to win. Like I don't have second agendas. Like I'm here to win. I transferred to win, and I'm super excited to go out there and play hard and give good consistent performance and give good at bats and be somebody that I want to come up to the plate and I want people to be like, okay, like something's going to happen here. Like this guy's consistent. This guy gives good at bats. Like something's going to happen here. I'm going to strike out. I'm going to fly. I'm going to ground out. It's going to happen. But I want people to be like, this is going to be a good at bat, and he's going to compete. So that's just all I want.
Awesome stuff, man. Griffin Merritt, former Cincinnati Bearcat, now a Tennessee Volunteer, going to be a corner outfielder and a name that you'll be doing big things this spring. Excited to watch you play, man. Excited to see you guys all get out there here in a couple of weeks. Appreciate it, man, and we'll do this again, okay?
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Eric.